This div with the class of login holder, we're going to style it at the bottom of this CSS page, login dash holder. And I'm going to give it a background of white. I'm going to give it a grid columns. And we're going to start it at, let's start it at column 2. And we'll go to column 5. And grid rows, same thing. We'll start at 2 and we'll go to 5. And this is saying what column should it start at and what column should it end at? What row should it start at and what row should it end at? And if you do this, right now this is what it looks like. Was it grid template column? Or is it grid column or grid row? I can't remember. I can remember if they're singular. Yeah, there you go. They're singular. And so now you see there's this white box in the middle of our screen taking up this much space. Can everybody see that? Let's give it some additional styling to make it look a little nicer. I'm going to give it some box shadow. Box shadow makes it look like it's like levitating a little bit off the page. Now, I never really have any good box shadow. I don't really know how to do good box shadows, so I'll just steal it from anything else. So you see how this is like kind of elevated off the page a little bit? What I will do is I'll come in here, I'll inspect element if I want to find a box shadow, and I will select the thing that I like the box shadow of. So this whole div right here, whatever's holding this whole thing, I'm going to select that, and I'm going to find whatever the big one is for that. Let's see. No, that whole thing. MD card. And I'm going to look at whatever box shadow it has in here. So I'm going to scroll down until I find some box shadow. Let's see if we find it. Oh, here we go. Box shadow. And I'll just literally copy this. And I'll use their box shadow. Cool? So I copy this. And I put it inside my code, and I use it. I will put this on, I'm going to put all of this on Slack for you, because honestly, I don't know how to, like box shadow, I'm not even very good at. I just copy other people's designs, because they're always better than me. When it comes to design, I have a good, I know what looks good, but I'm not always great at making it from nothing. So I'll just steal other people's stuff. In particular, I really like Google's material design, so I'll just steal all their stuff. What's that? Exactly. It's exactly right. And so I'll just take their box shadow. I'll save it. I'll take a look at what it looks like. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. Now you see it's like levitating off the page a little bit. That's perfect. I'm going to keep that. So I'm gonna send all of this to you on Slack in a second, but let me just do one more thing before we wrap this up for now. Cool? If I want someone to be able to log in, I will usually give them the option to either enter in an email or password or just authenticate with Google. Here's how I would actually do that. Inside the login holder, I'm going to make 2 paragraphs like this, tags, and inside each one I'm going to put an input like this. And those inputs are going to hold information, a location where we can enter in the email and the password for our users. And I'm going to give this one a name equals email, name equals password. And I'm going to do the same thing for both of them. And I'll give them ID equals email or something like that. ID equals password too, usually. Or P word or whatever you want to put there. And what this will allow the user to do is, if you look now, there's a place for them to enter in their email and their password. Cool? Now, one thing you'll notice is that this is crammed up against the left side of the login form. I don't like that. So I'm going to give this login holder, a little bit of padding to make it look nicer. Padding of 4 pixels, 8 pixels, something like that. And that'll move everything off the sides of the page a little bit. Cool? I put some padding. So 4 pixels of padding on the top, 8 pixels of padding on the left and right. And this just gives it a nicer feel. It just looks a little bit nicer, that's all. The other thing I want to do is I want to allow people to sign in with Google. So I'm going to make a horizontal rule here in HR, which looks like that. It's just a line across the page. And I'm going to give them an opportunity to sign in with Google. Or sign in with Google. And I want to put a Google icon here. Now to put icons, there's a bunch of different options for you. The one we're going to use here, since we're signing in with Google, we're using a Google database, Firebase, we might as well use the Google icons also, material icons. So here's how you get those. You're going to go to material, I'm just going to type into Google material icons, CDN. And there we go. Nope, that's not the one I want. Hold on. There's the link. So I'm going to give you this link as well. I'm going to put this in Slack also. But what you're going to do is you're going to enter this in right below your style sheet. It's going to be another link, but to an icon family for material icons. Don't even worry about pasting this in right now. I'm going to send it to you in about a minute. But what that allows me to do is it allows me to specify icons that are material design, material icons from Materialize, just like this, by using an I class equals material dash icons and then putting the name of the icon inside it. So I can say something like I class equals material icons, and then inside that I'm going to put add, which is just a plus sign. So it'll come up as this kind of icon. But that's not the one I want. I want the Google one. I think it's just Google. I actually don't even know. Let's find out. Nope, that's not it. Let's see what the Google one is. To find out, you can go to, I think it's like materialicons.io. I'm going to look it up again. Material icons. There we go. It's just material.io/tool/icons. I'm going to look up Google. Find me the Google icon, please. Then I'm going to scroll down. No results. Really? I'm surprised by that. I don't believe you, though. Social. What's the social ones? Okay, fine. Oh, maybe they don't have it. I doubt it, but let's see. Google icons. Nope, just kidding. Really? Okay. Whatever, I'll figure it out. Then we're just going to use a big G for now until I figure out how to do this. I'm just going to put a G. Does that work? Yeah, there we go. There's my G. Cool. And I'm also going to make this a button. So when we click this button, we're going to be able to log in with Google. Okay. Now whenever I click this button, I'm going to want to be able to log in with Google, which we're going to do in a second. I also want to be able to have an email and password and log in with email and password as well. To do that, we're going to use another kind of HTTP request. This one is known as an HTTP post request. And a post request means you are posting information to another server. Instead of using a GET request, which is to get information or data from another server, we're going to post request or post information to another server. And those are the two kinds of HTTP requests that we'll be using while we build this app. So I think that's enough for now. We're going to actually set this up and log people in the next video.